Cleveland comes to KC fresh off a 4-game wash of the Sox to open July in first place in the Central. The Royals will try and slow the Tribe's mojo with the duo of Gio and Lowe. It's the start of a 6-game homestand at the K. Let's go! It's an absolutely gorgeous evening in Kansas City where we welcome you to Kauffman Stadium for Game 1 of this 3-game series between the Cleveland Indians and the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Physiok. This is Rex Hudler, and Cleveland comes to town in first place. They absolutely demolish Chicago, averaging 9 runs per game, and while Kansas City might have the better pitching staff, Cleveland has a more productive offense. But it's like that 6th-inning song they play here at the K. Sometimes it's good to have friends in low places.
That's right. But let me just tell you something. You asked Ned Yost, David Lowe might be in a low place in his lineup, but he's pretty high on David Lowe and Giovatello for that matter, Fizz. And how can you not? These guys are seizing their opportunity. Even though it's one game, these two were paired at the bottom, they're going to get a chance to do it again tonight. And it's day-to-day grind. And I'll tell you what, if Cleveland's watching, maybe they don't give Lowe any inside pitches because he's been drilling those pitches. And for Giovatello, not only offensively early, he shined defensively. Take advantage, take the extra base, do whatever you can to stay in there and ignite your team and hopefully qualify to drive the bus again.
7 for 8 from the bottom of your order. Now, they'll be moving up in the order tonight. They'll be hitting 7th and 8th, but they had 14 total bases in Sunday's victory over Minnesota.
Oh, friends in low places, Fizz? How about gamers in low places? They need the energy. They got it.
And it's Luis Mendoza time. He can pitch well, and he has lately at the K with a 2.35 earned run average last 4 games at home.
David Lowe on Sunday, and after those first 3 extra base hits, George Brett said, don't settle, look for a 4th. he did, had the home run, and ended up with the 5th ever 4 extra base hit game by a Royal. Joe Goldberg out here in right field where David Lowe will patrol tonight. And it was an incredible day, not just for David, but for Johnny Giavotella, as you just heard Fizz and Hud talking about. And those two guys are used to playing with each other. They've played at low A, at high A, and triple A. And in triple A, they started calling each other the Bash Brothers because they would always bat 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. Maybe not reminiscent of those McGuire days and Canseco days in the middle of the lineup, but they find a way to get it done. They're spark plug type of players, and they are having a great time and looking to be that spark plug again here tonight. But to beat the Indians, you're going to have to stop their red-hot offense. Hottest offense in baseball in the month of June, and no one was better than Jason Kipnis. Royals baseball is coming up next.
Baseball is brought to you by Missouri Lottery. Play the Powerball and Mega Million Scratchers game to win $100 grand or more. And by your Kansas City Chevy dealer, the official vehicle of the Kansas City Royals. This game is brought to you in high definition by Time Warner Cable, the official TV and internet and home phone provider of the Kansas City Royals. Welcome back to the K, where the Royals have won 9 of their last 13 games, and tonight will host Terry Francona's first-place Indians. And here is the starting lineup that he sent to home plate. This is his first year as the Indians manager after winning a couple of championships with the Red Sox, and he will go with Brantley to lead things off. Then Cabrera hitting second. Jason Kipnis, the American League Player of the Week. Then Nick Swisher, Santana, Reynolds, Giambi, Chisenhall, and Drew Stubbs. On the hill for Kansas City will be Luis Mendoza. His last 4 starts at home wrecks a 2.35 ERA.
Yep, but no wins. Hopefully the offense will change that category around a little bit. He's been good here, but hadn't had enough run support. It's going to happen tonight. Opponents average 264. However, in the month of June, they've hit just 245. So, working hard, that sinker baller. He's a ground ball pitcher when he's on top of his game. However, when he does elevate once in a while, you got a pretty good outfield there, especially Dyson and Lois with their speed. And Gordon, he's no slouch. How about those? 8 outfield assists, tied with Rios of the White Sox. But really, since 2011, he's got 45 outfield assists. That's most in the majors. He's got skills.
Luis Mendoza remembers Michael Brantley. The last time the Tribe faced Kansas City was in Cleveland, and Mendoza was cruising 4 shutout innings, and then to open the 5th inning, Brantley took him deep to right field, and in the 6th inning, Mendoza was running out of gas and took the loss as Cleveland would win that game 6-3.
New day, sense of urgency for these Royals to try to catch up. They can do it. They play their game, get some timely hits like they've been doing.
Kansas City coming off of a split in Minnesota, winning 2, losing 2. Meantime, Cleveland demolished the Chicago White Sox, averaging 9 runs per game. Three balls and 1 strike to Brantley. And this is a team much like Kansas City when you talk about speed. They're right almost even with stolen bases. Kansas City with 62 and the Tribe with 1 more. Ball 4. And we told you earlier, this is not a team you want to give free passes to. That's the difference in Cleveland and Kansas City. Power and patience. They have walked 89 more times than Kansas City.
Yep, that's more veteran guys in there. Got a better idea about the strike zone. Terry Francona's team has won 4 of 5 this season from the Royals, scoring 29 runs in those victories. So you can't give any free passes. If you do, you try to roll them over and see if you can get a double play here.
Here is Asdrubal Cabrera.
Brantley's got 8 stolen bases on the year. Been caught a couple times.
And Cabrera goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. He does have 6 home runs this year. And there are his numbers. Hitting .318 the last 2 months. Had a quiet start. Then hurt himself in June. Was out on the disabled list for about 15 days with a right quad problem. Mendoza has been getting a lot of his strikeouts with his curveball, and he has an advantage here on the fastball after getting a foul on a 92-mile-an-hour heater.
Yeah, he's been setting him up with his sinker. Working ahead is good, and then he finishes him off with the curve. I've seen some sliders from him.
He did go with the breaking ball, and it's hit towards right. Johnny Giavotella with a nice over-the-shoulder catch, and his defense just in the first 2 games, Rex looks much improved.
Oh, I'll tell you. He understands that he's got a great opportunity here to take this job and run with it. Now, he took Owen Peak low just to see where he was, and then he concentrated on the over-the-shoulder catch. It's not routine.
Well, Rex, the difference in Kansas City and Cleveland is power and patience. The Tribe has walked now 89 more times with 1 here in the first, and they've hit 45 more home runs. So they have scored 83 more runs than Kansas City. That pitching, though, is where KC has the edge. The Royals staff has allowed 64 fewer runs than Cleveland. And lately, Cleveland's success, this guy and their starting pitching. Jason Kipnis, not only American League Player of the Week, but what a month he had in June, hitting .419 with 16 extra base hits. 4 home runs, the rest doubles. 25 driven in 1 month.
Yeah, that's a pretty good month. He likes the ball middle in. He likes to pull it, but he will shoot the ball to the opposite field, especially with 2 strikes. You fall behind him, he's looking to drive.
11 for 23 in that Chicago series, including 3 home runs. He now has 12 this year. Brantley does not go. Strike is called by Gary Cederstrom, who's the crew chief and home plate umpire. Kerwin Danley is at first base tonight. Lance Barksdale at second. Vic Carpazza is at third.
Kipnis has grounded into 2 double plays this year. Mendoza would love that here.
Up the middle, past Escobar into center field. Brantley will stop at second.
Okay, he almost obliged, and that's what Mendoza likes to do, is give up balls on the infield. Now, he doesn't like for him to go through like that one did, but he just wants to try to keep the ball down, especially behind in the count like he was there. Ball, nice little two-seam sinker away.
And Kipnis now hitting 300.
The mound almost slowed that one up for Escobar.
4 games, Cleveland outscored Chicago 36-21. Veteran Nick Swisher now up. And he has very good power and slices it left for strike 1. But if there's been one Cleveland Indian player who's been a bit quiet lately, it is Nick Swisher, only hitting 149 the last 3 weeks.
I want to just try to keep it that way by executing where he's not looking, and that's typically away. He's a guy that looks in, wants to pull it. There's no wind here at the K tonight.
A base hit to right field. They will hold Michael Brantley. The bases will be loaded. Chance at second base, but getting back in time is Jason Kipnis.
Tell you what, Brad Mills, third base coach of Cleveland, he knows all about the outfielders in the league, especially David Lowe. Even though David's new this year, he's got 4 outfield assists. And with less than 2 outs, Mills said, you know what, I think I'll just take our chances here with Santana, who's a pretty good hitter.
And the Royals outfielders, particularly the corners, have really good arms. Rex was talking about Alex Gordon and his 8 assists, but David Lowe, even though he spent much of the first half of this year down in the minor leagues, has 5 assists. Santana sends it foul, and this is a guy with plenty of power. He hit as many as 27 home runs a couple of years ago for Cleveland. Has 10 so far this year.
Yeah, and this guy here, Santana, he's 4 for 6 with a couple of doubles this year with the bases loaded. So he's been thriving. He likes it. Mendoza wants to keep it down and use the defense.
Gets a strike across. It is 0-2. Santana with a good eye. He has walked 46 times this year in the top 5 in that department in the American League, but he's also struck out 52 times. Mendoza not necessarily a strikeout pitcher, though.
No, but he finishes them off with that breaking ball usually.
He tries the fastball at 93.
Cleveland's on a 11-day, 11-game road trip. They're 6-2 so far, so they've won the series they've played in. They're hot.
Great block by Perez. Bases are loaded with Brantley at third, Kipnis at second, Swisher at first, and Perez wants a visit with Mendoza because this is the real money pitch. He does not want to go 3-2.
That's usually hitters are expecting something good out over the plate, and they are able to square it up more consistently in that count.
Carlos, 27 years of age, out of the Dominican Republic. A chopper that will roll foul, and Luis stayed with his best pitch, that fastball, trying to get it down and away from Santana.
Hey, you like a swing like that. That was an emergency hack. Whenever you have bases loaded and you're a premium slugger on the team, you want to get a good rip. So obviously Santana didn't see it very well.
Are you staying with the sinker?
I'll stay with it on the outside corner. He hopefully tries to pull it right to Gio. Get out of the inning. In order to stay away from rolling your hands over, you want to keep your hands inside the baseball and think and shoot that ball to the opposite field.
Another block by Perez, but the count is full. 1 out. The inning started with Brantley walking, Cabrera popping up, Kipnis singling, Swisher singling, and Santana has now worked a full count, and Perez was able to keep that ball just under his feet.
Santana, he's just 1 for 8 off of Mendoza, but he's able to lay off of that breaker. That's from seeing him enough. Knows that he tries to get you to swing at that ball in the dirt. You got to come in there now.
And it is ball 4. So Cleveland scores a run and a couple of walks, and that's a shame because Mendoza had him down 0-2, and he was still able to work the walk. This is not the kind of start that Mendoza was hoping for. You might remember the start against Cleveland a couple of weeks ago. He shut them out completely and was dominating them the first 4 innings.
Well, I can tell a couple of things. Obviously, this first inning, he's a little bit insecure with his pitches. He's not real confident, and his tempo is not good either. So, got to try to navigate your way through here. And this will be a tough batter here, as Reynolds has their only grand slam this year.
And he is their top power hitter with 15 home runs. Goes after the first pitch, strike 1.
Tell you what, Dave Island, he'd like to see Mendoza use that sinker more. Trust that sinker, take some speed off of it, keep it down and go at him, attack. He wants him to be aggressive with that fastball, and we've been seeing him not so aggressive.
22 pitches already, and only 1 out recorded, and now he hits Reynolds in the shoulder. This is what we talked about. You cannot give these teams that many opportunities. Kansas City giving away some runs. On Sunday, they walked 2 batters in the 3rd inning. 1 of those scored. 2 errors in the 5th inning. 1 of those scored. 2 walks in the 7th inning. 1 of those scored. And now they come up and in on Reynolds. And he got it not only in the shoulder, but it looked like it got the side of his head.
Yeah, well, I didn't see any shoulder in that. And that's head high. And that's dangerous. And looks like it might have just grazed off the top of the shoulder, but a little bit too close for comfort. Obviously, that was not intentional, but dangerous location nonetheless. It's Mendoza's 3rd hit batter of the year.
2 walks, a hit batter in this inning. 2-0 already Cleveland. Here's the veteran Jason Giambi. Ball 1. And they got this guy, Rex, to hit in the clutch, and he has done that. You can see what his career is like with the bases loaded, 14 slams, but 348 with runners in scoring position this year. Ball 2. And the crowd getting a little anxious here at the K.
Mendoza, slow tempo, too slow. He's not being aggressive at all.
This could be 2. There's 1, and they've got the double play. But 2 runs score for Cleveland, and they have the early edge on KC. and Cleveland first, and they lead the Central. Then the Oakland Athletics, who are a half game back in the American League West, but Cleveland has been surging. Their sweep of the Chicago White Sox. Detroit not playing well. They've lost 3 straight games and 6 of their last 7. Here's a look at the Kansas City lineup. Gordon, Escobar, Hosmer, Butler, Perez, Moustakas, Lowe, and Giovitella 7 for 8 on Sunday, and Gerard Dyson, who is 2 for 2 in his career against Corey Kluber, the 27-year-old right-hander, born in Jacksonville but raised in the state of Texas.
All right, he's not very overpowering, although he has a fastball he'll reach 94. He's more comfortable in the low 90s. He's going to cut his fastball and try to sink it a little bit. He's got a good hard slider, curveball, and a changeup. Defensively behind him, boy, I tell you what, if the Royals can get on base, they might find some green lights and some good opportunities, because Santana, he only has a 13.5 percentile of throwing runners out. It's pretty low. He's got 5 of 37 base stealers.
Kluber's last game did not go well at Baltimore. Lost it 7-3. That was his worst start of the year. He gave up 7 runs in 4 2/3. Alex 0 for 1 on Sunday, but 3 walks and a sacrifice fly.
Tell you, there's a lot to towing the slab for your first time with a 2-0 lead. Saying, okay, I got a lead, I'm going to go after him.
He has a very good slider as well. That might be his best pitch. But his fastball command in the game at the K back in April was outstanding. Very aggressive with that pitch. But the velocity and the command was down against Baltimore.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Same way when they faced the last pitcher at Minnesota. They zoned him up in the zone, and they told him, look for your pitch to hit and don't miss it. And they didn't. Lots of times you foul your good pitches back, the ones that you want, but they seem to square him up. Same goes against Kluber here.
Towards left field. In comes Brantley to make the catch, and 1 out.
Okay, they've got a speedy outfield. Brantley can get to a lot of balls. So can center fielder Stubbs. Good speed. Swisser's average out there, but they're not going with Michael Bourne.
Yeah, usually they have Michael Bourne in center with Stubbs moving over to right field. Here is Escobar. He has an 8-game hit streak going. He's raised his average to 253. It was down in the 230s. Kluber will not walk that many. Only 14 walks in 75 2/3 innings. Matter of fact, Rex, he has one of the best strikeout to walk ratios in the American League. 73 strikeouts and just 14 free passes.
Yeah, you know, I'm telling you, this is a lot like the last pitcher they saw. Same thing. When you're facing a strike thrower, you like it. It's an aggressive offense the Royals have. Take it to your opponents. When you know you're getting something to hit, you can hack.
Well, that last fastball was clocked at 95, showing his velocity up from the start against Baltimore. I told you he was born in Jacksonville, Florida, but raised in Texas, and then went to school back in Florida at Stetson University, where he was the Atlantic Sun Conference Pitcher of the Year. Padres' 4th-round pick out of Stetson. But then, July a few years ago, when they had Jake Westbrook, they traded Westbrook to St. Louis in a 3-team deal. Ryan Ludwig went from St. Louis to San Diego, and San Diego sent Corey Kluber to Cleveland. And Hud, it's not like he has been overpowering in his professional career. Just a 4.5 earned run average in the minor leagues.
Yeah, you know, they're looking to fill out their rotation. He's not exactly a veteran either. He's had some time before this year, but it's being his first full year.
He strikes out Escobar. Well, Eric Hosmer, he's had some success against Corey Kluber in the past. We flash back to last year.
Yeah, how about that? It's good location, too. But that's in his wheelhouse. Anything down and away out over the plate on the outer half, he'll take you deep that way.
Eric goes after the first pitch, grounds out to Jason Kipnis, so it's a quick and comfortable Corey Kluber inning in the first. Luis Mendoza is hoping for a better second inning than he had in the first, when with the bases loaded he walked Santana to drive in a run and then hit Mark Reynolds to drive in the second run before getting Giambi on a 4-6-3 double play. Lonnie Chisenhall is the batter, and he takes ball one.
I'm sure Dave Island in between innings said, Luis, you've got to attack with that sinking fastball. Go at these guys. Make them swing it.
Right now he's looking a little like Wade Davis did on Saturday, where he just cannot command his pitches. Two walks, a hit batter in that first inning. And that looked like a strike, but when you're all over the place, they don't give you that call. Chisenhall, young player, just recalled from the minor leagues. June 18th, he was tearing it up at AAA, hitting .390. And Mendy goes right down the middle. It's 3-1. Mendoza had been so sharp of late. Last 10 starts in ERA that was under 3.5. And he'll take care of Chisenhall on the 3-1 count, and there's out number one. As you know, we have those sprint questions and our unlimited answers question. Who will be the Royals' toughest opponent before the All-Star break? Cleveland, who's in for 3, the A's to follow for 3, and then we go to New York and then go to face Cleveland in Progressive Field.
Well, you know, I would imagine that you could point to the Athletics, who are in first place in the West. The Yankees are doing okay, but really every single game they play, no matter who it is, they're going to have to pay attention to that day. We can all look at the schedule and look ahead, but it's going to be a difficult grind the next 18 games. There's no doubt. And we'll see how they end up, hopefully on the winning side.
Well, you talk about grinds. Cleveland has really been through a grind. After arriving in Chicago at 2 in the morning on Friday and playing 4 games in the span of 48 hours, here they are in Kansas City. Probably all slept down in the plaza. yesterday.
They had an off day yesterday, though.
Yeah, they had that weekend, which included a 7-hour, 53-minute doubleheader, which was a major league record on Friday. Terry said they also enjoyed 3 come-from-behind wins and a 4-0 shutout by their best, Justin Masterson. And Stubbs will take a called strike 3 for out number 2.
It's his 86th strikeout on the year. That's a little bit of a high number for a guy with that kind of speed. But a beautiful pitch. Well executed. Little slider down.
His team would like nothing more than a 1-2-3, turn it over and get the offense back up to the plate. There's Michael Brantley, who walked and scored the team's first run, and he gets strike 1. Brantley's dad, Mickey, played in the big leagues. Michael was born in Bellevue, Washington, raised in that area. And he loves the leadoff role, hitting .318 as their number 1 guy. But he'll move down in the order when Michael Bourne starts.
He's an action player. He's got good speed. Alley type hitter.
Hosmer will take care of this one. And it is a 1-2-3 second inning. When we come back, Butler, Perez, Moustakas coming up. He hit his first big fly in a long time, snapping a 136 at-bat drought on Friday.
Yep. Those beautiful phantom cam shots there we had in Minnesota were fantastic. Innovative.
Well, he will lead things off. He's glad to be coming back home. He has a 7-game hit streak going. He's raised his average to 283. Last year he hit 313 in an outstanding season. 29 home runs, 107 RBIs. But a lot of opponents are saying to their pitcher, don't let Butler beat you. I mean, the difference in walks last year to this year so dramatic. He only walked 54 times last year. He has already walked 45 this season.
But you know, that's the one thing that he says that I cannot do. Swing away from my game. I can't swing outside of the strike zone, so I'm going to take my walks.
And he is immediately behind Corey Kluber.
Yeah, he's working that slider.
told you that might be his best pitch. Really breaks hard and away from a right-handed batter. Then he tries to sneak a fastball in the outside corner. Terry Francona said, I mean, this guy is just getting better right in front of our eyes. He's pitching with that fastball so aggressively inside that he's opening up the outside corner of the plate. And he got a swing and a miss from Butler there, and it's 4 up, 4 down for Kluber. Come out to the K this Saturday as the Royals salute the history of the Kansas City A's. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Charlie O t-shirt in honor of the old A's mascot, courtesy of Fox Sports Kansas City. Join us for a pregame ceremony. The KCA's alumni and Charlie O look-alike mule will be greeting fans in the outfield experience. Gates open at 11:30 in the morning for this special Saturday afternoon game. And there is a drive to left center. And Salvador Perez will have 2 bases. So the Royals have their first base runner. And just a reminder, fans, for that KCA's game on Saturday, go to Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets.
There you go. Wait for one you can drive. And right down the middle, Salvi knew it. And on contact, he said there's no one catching that one. Nice, easy, compact swing. And as Salvador continues to mature as a hitter, we're going to see a lot more improvement in his plate discipline and all that stuff. Now it's like he might have something going on there.
Well, we hope that is not the case. And Kenny, the head athletic trainer, is out visiting with him. And it's the right leg. It was the left knee that he injured last year that kept him out until the end of June.
We'll have to take a look at him, see here. Let's see. When he slowed down a little bit before first base, but you could tell he's already kind of limping into second.
Rats. That young man's so important to the team. To see the success of the team. He wants to stay out there, though. And believe me, both Ned and Nick Kenny very cautious with this young man. They know how important he is to the club's future. You've had a few of those knee injuries, young man.
Yes, plenty of them. You stay around long enough, you'll have more. But keep playing hard, and especially Salvi's workload back there at that plate. He works hard and conditions himself very well for as young as he is and as big as his body is.
And it may take an extra base hit to get him home because Eddie Rodriguez is going to be very cautious here. Kostakis has been swinging a hot bat after hitting just 183 his first 2 months of the season, batting .274 in June.
He hit his first homer in 124 at-bats on Friday. Maybe he can do the same. Right here. Look for something to drive.
Hoover delivers a strike. It's 2-1.
That's a 2-0 changeup. There's some respect right there.
And those are the pitchers that they're hoping that he continues to improve on, the changeup and the curveball. Hit sharply, but right at third. Chisenhall's throw is a low one, but grabbed by Reynolds. 2 out. Cabrera, who is also from Venezuela, visiting with Salvador Perez. And here is David Lowe, the star on Sunday. 4 for 4, 3 doubles, a home run that gave the Royals the lead in the 8th.
He's been clutch. Most of his 14 RBIs have come with 2 outs. And he absolutely wore out the Minnesota Twins. They tried to pitch him inside, and every 4 hits he got was all almost in the same place on the inner half of the plate. So maybe they'll read the scouting reports on how successful he was and try to stay away from it.
He went after a pitch that was not a strike and grounds out. That will do it for Kansas City. They leave Perez stranded with a 1-out double. Nothing. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler. We're now joined by former Royal great John Wathen. We want to talk about the fantasy. Yeah, I'm calling you great.
Wow.
Grate, though.
Okay. I can grate on people's nerves a lot, yeah.
But, John, I wanted to ask you, in January, we've got the Royals Fantasy Camp coming up, January 20th through the 24th. Still plenty of openings for fans to get involved.
It is probably the most fun that anybody's going to ever have in a baseball uniform, and being in the big league surroundings with the big league clubhouse. 5 full days. We're out with them every night, just about, except for one night. They eat with us. They drink with us. You know, Coca-Cola.
Tell stories.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No adult beverages, of course.
But they can.
Stories get better with adult beverages, though.
Experience what a big league life is like.
Exactly. You know that one of my biggest thrills is to watch those guys the first time they come into the locker room and see their uniforms with their name on the back in a big league clubhouse. You remember, Rex, what it was like that first time?
Special.
I get goosebumps watching these guys when they enter the clubhouse for the very first time. They make a lot of great friends, too.
Yeah,
lifetime friends. Those guys get together after they've been in fantasy camp and have lunches together and outings together.
And, Duke, look, they play 2 games a day, so they're going to get plenty of baseball action.
Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah. Too much sometimes.
Well, you know
we have a few injuries along the way.
Yeah, fortunately, the coaches, they don't have to play until that final day because they get a chance.
A line drive to Escobar, and there's out number 1. Now, John, give us an example of what a typical day is like for a fantasy camper.
Early flight, get in on Monday, and they have a batting practice session. We have a draft after that in the afternoon and pick the teams. Some guys have been coming for years, go on the same team every year. Sometimes guys want to switch and have different coaches. And that night we have a get-together at the hotel, and then we have another dinner with just our teams another night. But normally it's game in the morning, game in the afternoon each day. And then on Thursday, excuse me, we play against them. We have to play 18 innings because there's usually 6 teams, 3 coaches on each team, 3 alumni on each team. So 18 alumni are there with the guys, 3 on each team. And we have our own individual dinner with them one night, and we have a banquet another night. There's only one night that they're on their own. So it's a full week.
So they get awards and everything.
Yeah.
Banquet night.
Yeah, and we have Kangaroo Court, which is really fun with John Warden, who's a scream as the judge. Fines are doled out, and it's a badge of honor if you get fined in that thing.
Oh, you know it. It's nothing better than to be laughed at by about 60, 70 grown men.
The one thing I do want to emphasize, a lot of guys are afraid to go because they think they're going to be the worst guy there. It's impossible. There's a lot of bad guys there.
No, right. So
you can't be the worst. You can't be considered the worst.
How about women? Can they come too?
Oh yeah, we've had some women before. Sure.
Mendoza strikes out the red-hot Kipnis, and there's out number 2. And that is 6 retired in a row by Luis Mendoza. And it's that breaking ball again that is getting them, and he now has 2 strikeouts on the evening. John, I was watching the pictures that they were showing. George Brett was there. Willie Wilson was there. Who are some of the Royals alumni who will be there helping out?
Well, it's not for sure yet. We are trying to get Bo Jackson. There's a possibility Bo Jackson might be there this year. If that happens, that's going to be big for us. Gubazaw's been there in the past. Saberhagen's been there in the past. Jeff Montgomery has been there. He'll be there again.
How about Joe Randa?
Joe Randa comes.
Right.
John Mayberry. You know, it's unbelievable. The guys that show up for this thing. You know, we have as much fun as those campers do. We tell our stories, and they get better every year.
You had 6 guys on base when you hit that home run.
We were all faster, stronger, more power than we ever thought of having.
I met a huge Royals fan at a dinner the other day, Ed Holland. Great guy, and he has been to 6 camps in the past, wanting to go again in January, and he said he had the time of his life.
He did, and he's talking about bringing a bunch with him this year, and I hope that comes through because that would really help us out to have a bunch of his guys come in, and there's still
compete for a championship.
Still plenty of opportunities, though, like you mentioned, Steve. There's going to be opportunities for guys to go, and we'd like to get it filled as quick as possible. So if you're thinking about it out there, it makes a great Christmas present, obviously. Pre-Christmas present.
New Year's Day celebration.
Yeah. We have a lot of celebrations during the week out there, that's for sure.
It's fun. Hey,
I don't know if we use more ice for the beer or for their arms and their legs and their thighs and all the hamstring.
I'm going to say the latter.
But I understand you also have our trainers there helping out.
Oh, yeah. Paul McGannon, who was a former trainer for us, is out there usually. And we've had Steve Morrow has been out there before. And Nick Schwartz, who's a longtime trainer that you guys know, just retired a couple years ago. He'll be there. So it's they're taken care of.
It's a full big league experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Trainers are a huge part of being a big leaguer. Got to have them.
Nick Swisher lines it up to the gap in left center field. Gordon gets to it quickly. Swisher's going for 2. Here's the throw, and it skips by Giavotella. I don't think they would have got him because Swisher looked like his leg was going to be there before the tag could get down. It'll be a double for Nick.
John, we've seen you last season a lot on the field before games, hitting batting practice, and hitting fungos to the guys. What are you doing this year?
I'm actually in the minor leagues a lot more, Rex. As much as I'm gone on the road, Dayton was kind enough to say that I didn't have to be at all the home games, so it gives me a little time off now and then. But I just got back from seeing our Lexington Ball Club in Hagerstown, Maryland. I don't know if you ever played there, but I really appreciate how good our minor league parks are after being in Hagerstown.
Really?
Not very good. Locker room is about as big as your booth here. No air conditioning, of course. You remember those days?
Oh, sure.
Well, tell us who some of the talent you saw.
Well,
down there.
Bubba's down there. Of course, everybody asks about Bubba. He's getting better by the day. I think he could play center field in the big leagues today. His hitting needs to come, and it will. He's got to have more plate recognition of the breaking ball, but he's going to have excellent power as he does now, and he's going to be good. He's getting better each and every day.
As a hitter at that age, what are the things that you and the organization want to see him improve on?
Just consistency, recognition of balls and strikes. And, guys in pro ball, once they get in pro ball, they're all very, very good pitchers. They've been the best on every team they've ever played on. And you have to recognize as a player when you get to minor leagues that first or second year that, yeah, you were the best on every team you played on, but everybody you're playing against was in the same boat. And it's tough sometimes when you're hitting 240 or 50, wondering if you belong. And so they have to get over that hurdle to get to the next level.
Especially when you're out of high school.
Yeah.
And Rex, you had a similar situation because you were a soccer, football, baseball star coming out of Fresno, and Bubba, football, basketball, baseball star, and the adjustments that you had.
Yeah, it's a mental and physical adjustment, playing all those games in a row, the day-to-day routines. And like John was saying, showing that you can belong. You can compete against guys that graduated from college that are 4 years older than you are. So I understand what Bubba's going through.
Well, and he's a Midwest guy. We all know it takes a little bit longer for Midwest guys. They don't play year-round like you do in California or Florida. So high school kids out of the Midwest are going to take a little bit longer sometimes.
Well, we all know what a sensational athlete he is. Fantastic basketball star in the state of Kansas. Full ride scholarship to Nebraska. Meantime, Mendoza's fought back in the count against Santana. And then throws that breaking ball, and it's a 3-2 count. Remember, he walked him on a 3-2 count with the bases loaded that drove in the first Cleveland run. And that was after getting in front of Santana, 0-2.
John, did you have plate discipline when you came into pro ball, or did you have to learn that?
I actually wasn't bad at taking a walk because I knew I wasn't going to be that great a hitter.
Yeah, but
you got to recognize your capabilities.
Yeah, but look, you're a big leaguer. I mean,
yeah.
you are.
Well, it took a while. I was in the minor leagues 5.5 years. I didn't get to the big league. I signed at 21 after my third year in college. I didn't get to the big leagues till I was almost 27, kind of like you. So not as long as you in the minor leagues, but when I got there, I was ready. A lot of guys today are rushed to the big leagues and have to learn in the big leagues, and that's tough. So I felt like I was ready at almost 27 when I got here. And as a catcher, it's a little bit harder sometimes because you got to learn how to get hitters out, how to set them up, what pitches to throw, know your pitcher, who to kick in the rear, who to praise, pat on the back. There's a lot more to it as a catcher, so it takes a little longer sometimes.
I was talking to Jason Kendall, who grew up in a baseball family. His father, Fred, was a terrific catcher and influenced him. But he told me, we were talking about Salvador Perez, and he says Salvi is a sponge. He wants to learn every single day. We have conversations every single day at home. But he said, I was in the big leagues 5 years where I started finally figuring it out. The way a batter was positioning his feet, how we could get him out. Those little nuances of the game that every catcher has to understand.
You're exactly right. And Jason is too about Salvi. He's been like that since we signed him at 16 years old. Wanted to learn and wanted to get better. Tremendous work ethic. He's going to be around a long time and be a good one.
I asked him the other day when we played the St. Louis Cardinals, I said, Salvador, did you watch Yadier Molina? And he goes, I was on the top step of the dugout every single moment. I was watching his footwork. I was watching his pitch sequence, why he would set him up with a fastball in and then stay in again. And so he was constantly trying to learn.
That's what it takes. You've got to be a sponge, as you've mentioned, and you've got to retain a lot, too, and go over video, scouting reports, and think about all that stuff. Remember during the game.
There is ball 4. So let's go back and talk about the fantasy camp. Once again, January 20th through the 24th, just in case we have some athletes out there going to plan their trip. When should they make their window of vacation to get off work?
As soon as possible, depending on where they work and how good their boss is.
I thought you were going to say take 2 weeks off to recover from.
Well, that might happen too.
Oh, that's
we have a few injuries. We've had some guys, unfortunately, that you can tell them and tell them and tell them they're going to have to get in shape and stretch and run a little bit and do this. But when they get when the adrenaline starts flowing, that first at bat, they tear out of the box, and sometimes they'll pull something right away and they're on the bench for a while. But you know what? The guys that don't play, sometimes they have a lot of fun too. They're in the bench cheering the other guys on. Some guys after a couple of days say, I don't want to play anymore, but I'm having a blast.
Don't try and
bench coach. We make some bench coaches out of those guys.
Fizz mentioned athletes. Even non-athletes will take. We'd like to have you come out and participate.
Reynolds slow roller, barehanded by Escobar. How about that play? Very nice by Alcides Escobar. Well, John Wathen, we're going to continue to talk about the Royals fantasy camp.
Good. You got the number?
Got the
Royals.com.
There it is.
There's a link there. Appreciate you having me on, guys.
Thanks, dude. Association for 39 years and is still an active member. Once her husband retired, Addie became very involved with Kansas City's Veterans Administration Medical Center, amassing well over 4,000 hours of volunteer services. She now helps organize activities, parties, and schedules other volunteers. Way to go, Addie. And she is watching Johnny Giavotella, who had a heck of a debut in 2013 with the Royals.
Oh, man, I mean, his first at-bat, he was hacking, he was swinging. He didn't come up here to take. In the second at-bat, he said, look, I can help drive the bus. Drove in a run. Advanced to second base, showed some hustle.
He was one of many Royals out for early batting practice today, and George Brett told me, he said, anytime his swing got long, I reminded him because he is so good with that short, compact line drive stroke.
And, you know,
one strike.
He really didn't want to talk about the other day, today to me. He just said, well, you know how that was one game. Today, what can I do today to help? And that's the mentality you have to have.
Hit sharply. Chisenhall with two nice plays early in this game. Fans, join us for summer fireworks on Friday versus the A's, and stay after the game for a fireworks show courtesy of Hy-Vee and Pepsi. Plus, it's Buck Night. Hot dogs, peanuts, and small soft drinks are just $1. Go to Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets for summer fireworks and Buck Night. Here at the K, Gerard Dyson with one out. He has faced Kluber twice and has 2 hits. How about making it 3 for 3 and then ripping off some bases and getting into Kluber's head?
That's right. Get on base and cause some havoc.
A bunt. That's, I thought he was going to juggle it and go by him. Instead, he was able to gather it in and toss out Dice. Let's go to Joel Goldberg.
Well, Fizz and Hud, noticed throughout Alex Gordon's career, especially last year, that big pine tar mark on the back of his jersey, and had a lot of fans lately pointing out it hasn't been there. And I said, Alex, where is it? You still have that same backswing when you're practicing. And he said, I don't know, maybe I'm not putting as much pine tar on the bat. I'm breaking fewer bats this year. He said that he set the league mark last year, or at least led the league with broken bats, but he really didn't have a theory for it. Just said, maybe I'm just getting lazy. And I said, well, the fans like the mark. And he said, all right, maybe I'll put some more on there tonight. Looks like the mark is there on the back of the jersey.
Yep, he's giving it up for the people, but he wants to really give it up for them and hit a gapper.
You know, the mark of Zorro, we have the mark of Gordo.
That's right. Now, he takes his top hand off when he swings. And on deck, he keeps both hands on. That's how he's able to get that mark on his back, because he has a complete follow-through when he does his warm-up swings.
Gordon popped up to left field his first time up. Kluber's allowed one hit. That was a one-out double to Salvador Perez, but they left him stranded at second base in the second. 2-2. Kluber today has topped out at 95. They said he was touching 92 in that start at Baltimore and couldn't command it as well. 94 pitches in 4 2/3, and Royals were hoping to see that guy, but appears to have it back.
Well, talking with Mickey Callaway, first-year pitching coach for Terry Francona, he said that they would like Kluber to use at least 50% fastballs, and he hadn't been using 50%. He's really trusting his slider and some of his secondary pitches.
And now he comes in too tight on Alex and hits him in the side. But Rex, that's what really impressed me the first time the Royals faced him. He really pitched inside well with a fastball, and it opened up the outside portion of the plate.
You know, it just depends on your feel. Sometimes you don't feel like you have a good fastball, so you're going to use your secondary pitches. But they would like for him to use at least 50% fastballs. And there was one there, hit Alex for the 3rd time this year. That's the 4th hit batter by Kluber.
Here is Escobar. Kansas City's been very good, Rex, with 2 outs. The Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index shows the 2 top teams in baseball, Kansas City and Cleveland.
Yeah, they don't
right
quit.
There.
Yeah, they don't give up. They grind them out. Gordon 4 for 5 in stealing bases this year. He's been running more recently.
Escobar hitting .317 the last almost 3 weeks to get his average back over the .250 mark. Hosmer waiting his turn on deck, and it's popped up. Stubbs takes care of Escobar and the Royals. We head to the 4th inning here in Kansas City. Cleveland scoring 2 in the first, and he's held up those so far. Nothing lead over Kansas City as we're in the 4th inning of play at the K. Bottom of the order coming up, facing Luis Mendoza, Giambi, Chisenhall, and Stubbs. Giambi, who ended the 1st inning hitting into a 4-6-3 double play, gets strike 1. Mendoza part of a pretty good rotation. Kansas City staff has held opponents to 3 runs or less in 44 of their 79 games.
Now you see that average that Giambi has, 198 coming in. But you know, they never expected him to hit for average. They wanted him to run produce, and that's what he's been doing. You mentioned his average with runners in scoring position at 348. He's doing his job on the field. But he's a little bit more important to Terry Francona than on the field duty. This 42-year-old, he's a mentor. He's a leader. He's a guy who's been there. He's played a lot of baseball and been with some championship teams, and some good Oakland teams. He's a Yankee. And he knows the game inside out, and he's able to pass that on.
And remember, he's so well thought of that the Colorado Rockies interviewed him for their managerial job. That went to his old teammate from the Oakland A's, Walt Weiss.
And you know, he might have got it had he didn't think he had some playing time left. He goes, you know what, I'm enjoying this uniform too much right now. I'm going to keep going, keep myself in shape. See if I can't go help Terry Francona.
They are in first place by a half game because they've won 4 in a row. Detroit losing 3 straight. And going back further, the Indians have won 10 of their last 13. There's a ground ball up the middle. Gio Battella can't reach it. So a base hit for Giambi. He is a station-to-station guy, so Mendoza can focus on the next batter, Chisenhall.
Gio was playing him to pull. Nice effort. Just missed it.
Our Time Warner pitch speeds, the ultimate internet. Kluber's topped out at 96, Mendoza at 94. But Corey has been able to stay away from the walks. And there is a shot down the right field line, foul. Mendoza was really hurt by being wild in the first inning when he walked a pair and also hit a batter. The second walk drove in a run, the hit batter drove in a run, and that is the difference in the game. Chisenhall grounded out back to the mound his last time up. Mendoza would love that here. Instead, it is past Moustakas into left field, and back-to-back hits by Giambi and Chisenhall.
Okay, kept his hands inside the baseball, right over the middle of the plate. Waited till the ball traveled deep, and Moose almost got to it. It's 2 balls that have just almost been caught by defenders. Now we'll see if Francona wants to bunt Drew Stubbs. Nobody out. Situation calls for it.
Francona was talking about his bunting ability. This is one of their fastest players. 3-time All-American at Texas.
Yeah, you know, you can't double him up. He's the toughest to double up in the American League. So that's why he's going to let him swing away here.
But the one thing that Mendoza can do, even though Luis is a pitch to contact guy, Stubbs is a swing and miss guy, striking out 85 times. And that's what's kept him from being an everyday player in the big leagues. And he tries to bunt here, but bunts it foul, so now he's down in the count 0-2.
Boy, you know what? That was really close from being a triple play. I mean, he's the hardest to double up in the American League. He's only doubled up 1 time in 258 at bats now. Now, if this ball stays fair, Salvi picks it up and goes around the horn with it.
So what you're trying to say is he's hard to double up, but easy to triple up?
Yeah, they could have tripled him up right there. Could have just stayed out in front a little bit because he didn't get a break out of the box.
Stubbs does not chase, and the breaking ball away from him. Casey trying to keep it close. They handed Cleveland 2 runs in the first inning. Left side, Alex Gordon. There will be no advance for this one. Dyson calls him off and makes the catch, so 1 out. Tomorrow, come celebrate the Independence holiday a day early at the K when the Royals face off against Cleveland. Be one of the first 10,000 fans that receive a Royals Stars and Stripes baseball cap courtesy of Time Warner Cable. After the game, enjoy the largest fireworks spectacular of the season presented by Hy-Vee and Pepsi. For tickets, go to Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS. And John Wathan's beautiful daughter Dina delivered those caps for us today, and they are gorgeous. Love them. Patriotic, nice. Too. Come on, Dina, you can smile. Here's Michael Brantley.
She's only going to smile after Brantley hits a lane ball right at Gio.
Good point.
Power down. Trust the sinker.
Cleveland coming in hot. Winners of 4 straight. Other hot teams, the Angels have won 6 in a row. They're hosting St. Louis. And Baltimore's won 4 in a row. They're tied at 1 in their contest. But the Tribe really playing well on the road. You might remember they lost 12 straight road games. But in their last 10 road games, they are 8-2. Francona says it all has to do with pitching. We lost those 12 in a row. Opponents were averaging 6 runs per game. In the 8-2 stretch, opponents only averaging 4 runs per game.
The Orioles went out and acquired Scott Feldman from the Cubs today. They have an inconsistent starting rotation, so Buck Showalter said, hey, why not make a deal now?
And I guess the Cubs are going to try and build for the future. A lot of people think that Matt Garza will not last this month. Carlos Marmol was designated for assignment. Now they're trying to trade him to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And there is ball 4. So that's the 4th walk by Mendoza tonight. And the bases are loaded for Asdrubal Cabrera. And Mendoza is making it difficult on himself with these free passes. Dave Island comes out for a visit as Mendoza has now thrown 80 pitches and not yet through 4 innings. Luke Hochaber looks like he's going to start loosening up down in the Kansas City pen, but the Royals really wanted to get off to a good start. We have Guthrie going tomorrow, then Shields on Thursday. And fans, every Wednesday is Ink Student Night and Local Music Showcase. Show your valid student ID at the box office tomorrow to get a $7 ticket. Make sure to get here early for drink specials and live local music and the outfield experience before the game. Tomorrow night we are featuring the band Hearts of Darkness, so go to Royals.com/student night for tickets. Here is Cabrera. He is popped up and lined out. Strike 1. You will see batters do that a lot, Rex. When they hit a foul ball, they'll smell the burn where the ball went off the wood.
Yes, they do that occasionally because you can smell something burning when you try to square one up and it just is fouled off. You don't even have to smell your bat. You can smell it in the area.
Base hit right field. In comes Giambi. Chisenhall also comes home, and it's 4-0 Cleveland.
Mendoza, his command is not what he was hoping. From the very first inning on, that ball's down the middle of the plate. He's lucky that Asdrubal Cabrera didn't turn that into more.
And now the hottest hitter in June for the Cleveland Indians comes to the plate. Jason Kipnis. He is singled tonight and struck out. Tomorrow night, of course, the great fireworks show. Kazmir going for Cleveland. Guthrie, a former Cleveland Indian, goes for KC. Then on Thursday afternoon, Jimenez against Shields. One and one. This is a team that played so well in the first half last year. They were above 500 on July 26th at 50-49, then lost 28 of their next 33 games. 5-24, their worst August in the history of the Indians franchise. Detroit had been in first place since May 23rd. Tribe went through a very, very poor stretch, and Detroit started picking it up. But now Detroit not playing that well, and Cleveland, one of the hottest teams in the game. Ground ball third. Moustakas goes second, 1. First base, 2. But a 2-out base hit by Cabrera makes it 4-0. We'll see Hosmer when we come back. Kansas City Royals baseball is brought to you by Panera Bread. It's outstanding. And by Ford, your Midwest Ford dealers. And by AT&T Uverse TV. Cleveland with a 4-0 lead over Kansas City. We come to you from the K, game 1 of a 3-game series. Corey Kluber, who beat the Royals back on April 28th, giving up just 2 runs in 7 innings, has confounded them again through 3. Hosmer, Butler, and Perez coming up for Kansas City in this frame.
So starting pitching typically sets the tone for your team. Since it hasn't happened for the Royals, they're going to have to figure out a way to get some guys on, manufacture some runs, and get back in this game here. Just 1 hit.
Hosmer grounded out on the first pitch, takes a first pitch fastball, ball 1.
And Gordon got hit by a pitch. There's only 2 base runners.
Only 1 home run, 16 RBIs his first 2.5 months of the year. In June, he hit 6 home runs and knocked in 17. Kipnis spins and fires and throws him out. Kluber is doing what Mendoza wants to do, getting a lot of ground ball outs. That is 6 now that he's gotten on that sinking fastball. Mendoza has doubled him in his pitch total. Luis over 80 and Kluber just 42 in 3 1/3. Billy Butler struck out swinging his first time up and has seen nothing but strikes from Corey. He's now 1 for 7 against the Indians right-hander. One and 2. Royals have just one hit. It was the one-out double by Perez in the second. Their only other base runner was Alex Gordon, who was hit in the shoulder by a Kluber pitch in the third. Really swings and misses, and he has struck out twice against Kluber. This was not a guy who was even expected to be part of the rotation this year.
Okay, that first pitch, a little slider that was out over the middle, was really his best pitch. That right there had some run to it. But perfect location for him on the outer half.
When this season started, they thought it would be Masterson, Jimenez, McAllister, Myers, Tomlin, something like that. But Tomlin got injured, so did Myers, so did McAllister, and a guy like Corey Kluber has stepped up brilliantly. This is his 13th start this year. Perez has the only hit off of him, and that was a double off the left center wall his first time up.
So, you know, Masterson, it's a good thing that they're not facing him. He's got 10 wins and 3 CGs. That's complete games.
Third shutout on Sunday with the Chicago White Sox. But they have to beat pitchers like this. And they've made a lot of Corey Klubers look really good this year.
Kluber's velocity's a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. He's been touching 94, 95.
And they say that his velocity was down in that last start at Baltimore.
For some reason.
Popped up right side. Mark Reynolds in foul territory makes the catch, and the Royals are done in the fourth. We head to the 5th inning of play. It's 4-0 Cleveland. Fifth, and visiting Kansas City this summer, fans, you've got everything covered for you with the triple play pack from the Royals, Worlds of Fun, and Drury Hotels. Book your hotel room at druryhotels.com/triple play, and you'll have the opportunity to purchase Royals tickets and Worlds of Fun passes at a 30% discount. For more information or to book now, go to druryhotels.com/triple play. And I would imagine a lot of the towns we visited in Kansas, Nebraska, and Missouri on the caravan this past February and January, well, it was fantastic, and we imagine some of those fans will be here. Well, here is our Chevy call to the bullpen as Mendoza only goes 4. Luke Hochaber takes over here in the 5th to face Nick Swisher, Carlos Santana, and Mark Reynolds. Mendoza simply did not have his good command as he walked 4 and hit a batter.
It's too bad because his ERA had been building and building, and actually going down, but he's been a lot stronger and stronger as the months have gone on, and I didn't even see this coming.
Swisher flies out to Alex Gordon. So Hochevar comes out, and Luke tossed 2 shutout innings in a 6-2 loss on Saturday at Minnesota, allowing a hit while fanning 3. But Luke and Will Smith really saved the bullpen, and Ned Yost just praised their effort. They knew they'd have Monday off to get those guys back, and there's Luke pitching before he wanted to the 5th inning.
Yeah, but he's always ready, and he's really thrived in the bullpen this year.
Santana has walked twice. Strike 1.
Using mainly that mid-90s fastball, slider, cutters, a couple of curveballs he'll roll up there. Now this is going to eat up a few innings, hopefully, for Ned. He can bring all of his pitches out. Typically, though, when he's come in big situations for only a half an inning, he's just gone mainly fastball, slider.
And there was that little cutter on the inner portion, just barely missed. It's a 1-1 count. KC had a good June, 16 wins, 11 losses. And once again, Santana's discipline excellent. 48 walks this year. He is tied with Miguel Cabrera for the most walks in the American League. By the way, Cabrera went deep again tonight. And Miguel now has 26 home runs, 5 shy of Chris Davis, who has been on fire. Davis was 31, on pace for 61 home runs.
You know, I was watching some of his swings, his home runs, and he looks effortless, like he's not even trying. I mean, it looks like he's in the backyard with a wiffle ball league. I mean, he makes it look so easy. He's been in such a groove.
3 walks to Santana. Well, let's pay off that sprint question. Who's the toughest opponent for the All-Star break for KC? The Indians, fans believe 51%. The A's coming in next at 36%, and the Yankees at 13%. The Unlimited Answers sweepstakes presented by Sprint. Vote in tonight's Unlimited Answers poll and enter for your chance to win 2 Crown Club tickets to a future Royals game, courtesy of Sprint.
Thank you for your votes.
Here is Mark Reynolds. Robbed of an infield hit and a fine play by Alcides Escobar, who came in on a slow roller, barehanded, and threw him out.
Yeah, and that was with him loaded up. So excellent play on him.
Royals have turned 2 double plays tonight. One against Giambi, the other against Kipnis. He went and he's down 0-2. And did you know that Mark was the first player in Major League history to strike out more than 200 times, and it came in 2008 season. Arizona let him go.
It seemed like there'd be a lot more 200 strikeout guys
you would
before
think.
that.
But in the old days, they didn't swing and miss as much as they do now. That one's fouled back. He struck out 223 times in 2009 with Arizona. And what is the number? Is it Joe DiMaggio had 363 home runs, I believe, in his career, and only 361 strikeouts. That's ridiculous.
Nah, that's when in that era they took more pride in not striking out.
A swing and a miss. Down goes Reynolds for the 97th time this year. Hochevar has his first.
Yep, Hoch has plenty of stuff to strike you out with.
Is this that cutter?
Yeah, and you can see how he's worked that whole outer half there. Keep it out of his wheelhouse. That's a nice job of pitching to him.
Royals came in with a better starting rotation ERA, but Cleveland has kind of flipped the page on that. It has been a reversal of fortune where Kluber's been brilliant and Mendoza was all over the place. Now he has exited from the game, and Jason Giambi comes up with a man on and 2 out. Two balls, no strikes. Some lightning beyond right field.
Yeah, he's doing all he can to keep it away from Giambi. Giambi's looking middle in. And with that little storm that's out there, it's kicked up some wind, and now the wind's blowing in from right field.
That means the storm's coming our way. And Luke wisely goes away with the fastball at 95.
Yeah, that was a pull swing.
And there's the Drury Hotel we told you about. If you want to make a reservation there, go to the amusement park, and get Royals tickets. It's fantastic.
Worlds of Fun's not too far down the road.
Fouled off. Do you think if Luke went away with that fastball, I mean his four-seamer hard, he could get him right here?
Oh yeah, he can get anybody with that if it's located proper.
I'm just thinking Giambi, 42 years of age, can he turn on that velocity anymore?
He sure can.
Inside, but away.
Well, not away. I mean, but he's still trying. He's up on that plate. He wants to pull everything he can. Anything he can get his bat hit around on.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Hey, Santana will be moving off of first base.
Kansas City split a 4-game series with Minnesota, winning on Sunday 9-8. Cleveland was sweeping Chicago. Got him. He did go over with the fastball, but it didn't look like it was the four-seamer, and he strikes out Jason Giambi.
the Royals 4-0, and Cleveland has one of the loosest clubhouses in the big leagues. Talking to former Royal Mike Aviles about that today, he said everyone has a nickname, and for starters, there are 3 Mikes on the team. So he said he's called Handsome Mike. Shocking. That doesn't surprise me that he would say that at all. They call Michael Bourne Mike B. They call Michael Brantley Dr. Smooth. And then, let's see, Lonnie Chisenhall is Big Lon. Jason Giambi is Big G. Mark Reynolds is Mega Mark. And then Avila says he nicknamed Kluber Clubber Lang because he thought his name was pronounced Clubber. And that is a reference, of course, to the great movie, the great Rocky movies. But Avila's telling me that everyone in this clubhouse, we might look like adults, but we all look like or act like we're 2, except for the manager, who's the biggest kid of all. He acts like he's 1.
Well, he was the manager of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, this game will take the maturity out of you. When you're around these guys every day, baseball, man, you're with these guys more than you're with your family. And Moose finds a doinker. That'll work. Something, anything to get this offense going. Yeah, the ball's on the outer half. Moose just kind of served it out there off the end of his bat. But, it's important to have a lot of fun in the clubhouses. And each clubhouse has their own fun. Some are more loose than others, but typically you gotta really enjoy your downtime so you can relax, and for the 2.5, 3 hours you play, focus.
Rex, remember when Terry Francona managed the Boston Red Sox and Kevin Millar called that World Championship team the Idiots?
Yes.
And you got to have a lot of little boy in you. Played by grown men, but it is a boy's game. Here is David Lowe.
Yeah, I played for Terry his first year as a manager with the Philadelphia Phillies in '97 and in '98. And he had a way with the players, and he was the same kind of guy he is now, except he was just not established as a manager. But he was loose. He let the veterans patrol the clubhouse, and they did that.
And that's one reason he hired you.
Well, I'll say we did that, yeah. He had 13 rookies on the team, and he knows baseball well enough that you trust your veterans who police the clubhouse.
I know you don't like talking about yourself, so I'll talk about you. Terry Francona, he loved your attitude, your positive mentality, your optimism that you brought, and that's why he wanted you with the Phillies with their younger team. And there's a blooper towards left field and back-to-back flares. And KC with a nice little start here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what it does to your bat. Although the baseball bat, he's done. Yeah. Both of those bats died heroes, and that's all you can ask for your bat. Give you a base hit on the way out. Another one off the end. Anything to get something going. You get a couple doinkers and you get a blast. Maybe Gio can find a corner. Get the ball hard in his first time up.
And he was red hot down at Omaha with a 10-game hit streak, hitting .472 in first game in the bigs, 2 singles and a double. Ball 1.
And he's batting 1,000 with runners in scoring position. 3 for 3. Right man in the right spot right here.
George Brett wants him short and quick. Don't let him stretch your zone. Two balls and no strikes.
That's right. Pedro Gafal says, you know what? Look for your pitch, not his. What is your pitch you can handle, especially in a situation like this, 2-0? He says some guys may not know the strike zone real well. It doesn't matter. You know what your pitch is. You know how you succeed. Look for that one.
3 balls, no strikes.
Pedro talked about when video came into play a lot more in the 90s. the guys would look at that video and they'd look at their mechanics. They would look at their mechanics, and he's saying, no, don't look at the mechanics. What was that pitch? Look for the pitch. Look how they're trying to get you out. Don't worry about your mechanics. You're here. You're a big leaguer. You're fine, your mechanics.
3-1.
So now that Pedro and George have been here for about a month, they said, look, we don't talk as much about mechanics more than we talk about finding your pitch. Where is it?
Where's your pitch in this situation?
Right.
3-1 right now.
Right now you're looking out over. You still got him on the ropes. He's got to come in there with something. But you zone him. And that wasn't his pitch.
And Gio Vitella walks to load the bases. So a golden opportunity for Kansas City here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Okay, now they've got to make it hurt. Get back in this game.
Out comes Mickey Callaway, the pitching coach. He said the strength of Corey Kluber is that he exploits an opponent's weakness. He was not able to exploit Giovitella, who showed great plate discipline to load the bases. KC down 4-0 as Cleveland scored twice in the first and twice in the fourth.
Gerard's got some big hits this year. He's hitting .357 with runners out there. He's 0 for 2 with them loaded up this year. So for him, the same thing. Lots of times the bases are loaded. Pitching coach comes out to talk to you. You're going to get a fastball, something good to hit strike one. He wants to get ahead of you.
He has hit 2 home runs this year and both right down the line. There is a lot of wind blowing in from right field. 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, well, you know, he's the kind of guy that can just shoot the gap. It's just a lousy single. Just anything to get him on board here. It'll be tough to double up. Just concentrate on staying down through the ball and hit a line drive somewhere.
0-1. All of a sudden, Kluber does not have the great command that he showed in the first 4 innings.
And hitters got to remember, too, especially young hitters, the pressure is on Kluber, not you.
Slash to left field, the playable for Brantley. Moustakas is tagging, and now he will not come home. I thought they were going to send him, and quite frankly, I thought he would have scored.
Yeah, I was a little bit shocked he locked him up. You got to try there at least. As Brantley, he does have 7 outfield assists, but he was on his heels when he made that play, that catch. Dyson did what he wanted to do. You see how he was backing up. He was kind of on his heels. He didn't have anything coming forward, and he just stopped and went back to third. So it's up to Alex now to see if he can make something happen.
And Gordon is 7th in the American League in batting average with runners in scoring position. .371. He has been the Royals' most dramatic hitter this year with 3 walk-offs. Ball 1.
And he's got a slam this year
in Detroit, and did it ever go far?
That's right. Dead center field. Billy Butler's got the other one.
Kluber's getting the ball up in this 5th inning. (2-0).
Okay, same thing here. It's got to be your spot.
And Kluber wasn't even close.
So Escobar's on deck saying, look, I hope Alec gets a hit, but if he doesn't, I'm going to be the guy.
They let him go, and look at this! Green light on 3-0 and a grand slam for Alex.
right back in it. One swing, 3-0. Alex Gordon says, you know, I may not have gotten my cookie early in the account, but I'm going to get my cookie now with 4
Look at that.
chocolate chips.
That's a full slab, Hud.
And some sauce to go.
Hit it a ton. That's a full slab.
That wind might be blowing in, but when you're as strong as Alex and you get a hold of one, you could hit one in a hurricane.
You know, I love the call by Ned Yost also, Rex.
Yeah, look at him. He didn't try to do too much. He knew it the minute he hit it. It's a tie game. 4 RBIs for number 4. 392 feet. Terry Francona, he's going to get his bullpen scrambling now. He got a righty and a lefty going. Amazing how one inning can change the whole complex of the game.
From Billy Butler passed his hit it a ton barbecue sauce to this man, and he hit a grand slam.
Well, look at that. Watch this. Perfect swing. Great balance.
4-4 game. Game 1 of an important 3-game series between first place Cleveland and third place Kansas City. Royals 4.5 games back. Escobar. Nice play by Mark Reynolds.
Tell you what, that guy, he surprises me with his athleticism. How good he is at first base. Being mainly a third baseman in his career, he's agile over there. We've seen him make some diving plays. He's very flexible. We see him stretch out there at first base. That's a heck of a play. That saved a double.
Rex, we have some news for everyone in around baseball. Homer Bailey just no-hit the San Francisco Giants. Cincinnati Reds, Homer Bailey. Last time we checked, he had a no-hitter through 7. He has done it through 9. Congratulations. And here goes Eric Hosmer to left field. Playable for Brantley. But Kansas City, with Ned Yost giving Alex Gordon the green light on 3-0, and he blasts a grand slam.
Salami time!
Some history, as Fizz just told you, about a no-hitter for Homer Bailey, and he gets it done in the 9th inning, tossing the no-hitter. Outs to Crawford, Abreu, and Gregor Blanco, and with that, Homer Bailey with the 280th no-hitter in MLB history, and it is his 2nd career no-hitter. The last pitcher to have Major League Baseball's last 2 no-hitters, Nolan Ryan, 74 and 75.
How about that? I remember Steve Busby getting no-hitters in his first 2 years as a Royal. And here's the Gatorade bath. Wow. They did it with the red Gatorade.
Why not?
The Powerade.
Cincinnati Reds.
Lonnie Chisenhall went after the first pitch and it flies out. But Alex Gordon, the number 4, he just did that. Grand slam, got his team back in the game.
46 RBIs now by Gordo.
Drew Stubbs has struck out and popped up. Now it's imperative that Luke Hochevar, after his team gave 4, shut him down in the 6th.
That's right. Keep the momentum on your side.
Good breaking ball. And that's the rare curveball that you'd see. You said he'll mainly go with sliders, right, Rex?
Yeah. He's going to go with his fastball slider. He kind of cuts it a little bit. He's a little cutter. And then, he can't put that pitch on the shelf, especially pitching multiple innings. He's going to bring that out. He's got all 4 pitches that he uses. A changeup, too, is the one that he uses the least.
Wow, he worked Drew Stubbs after that 80-mile-an-hour curve. Comes back 16-mile-an-hour increase to 96 for this strikeout.
Yep. Speed the bats up and slow them down. And he just slowed the bat down right there with that big fastball.
Hochevar with 3 strikeouts tonight coming out of the pen. He said he's getting more and more comfortable as a reliever after starting his entire professional career.
You wondered when the season started how valuable he would be as a long man with that newly revamped starting staff of the Kansas City Royals. There wouldn't be a whole lot of work, you were hoping, for a long guy. But then Ned has used him in that bullpen in a very good way. He's used him in some long situations, but mainly short, and he's thrived. Keeping his ERA at a nice low 2.37.
Luis Mendoza did not have his good command tonight. Gave up 4 runs in 4 innings. Hochevar started the 5th. Gordon with a grand slam got Kansas City right back in it. Brantley goes after the 2-0 and sends it foul. Hochevar was able to keep it down at 96. Of course, the 6th inning is our Sonic Slam inning, and our contestant is Jerry Knoll from Kansas City. But I'm supposed to say that at the bottom of the inning, so I'll pause here.
Oh, so he missed the big jackpot by an inning.
Well, maybe the Royals will hit another grand slam in the 6th inning. That would be pretty wonderful.
Oh, it's a lot of money to be won for a slam in the Sonic Slam inning.
They still have that rally sauce that they have in the Royals dugout. Broke it out for Gordo. Good job by Hochevar. Just breezing through the Tribe in the 6th inning with a couple of strikeouts.
And keeping the momentum in that Royals dugout. Nice job, Luke.
The grand slam by Alex Gordon. Maybe that sets the stage for inning number 6, because the 6th is our Sonic Slam inning, and our contestant is Jerry Knoll from Kansas City, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Jerry will win $900. But if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Jerry will win $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals.
3-0. That ball's got to go. Beautiful stroke. Getting his team back in here, energizing this crowd.
Here is Billy Butler, and he takes strike 1. Billy has been tied up by Kluber. He is 0 for 2 with both strikeouts in his career, now 1 for 8 against Corey. Kluber started getting the ball up in that 5th inning. Singles by Moustakas and Lowe. He walked Giovatello on a 3-1 count. Dyson lined out, but Gordon on a 3-0 count hit a grand slam.
Kluber's been getting Butler on that slider all night.
So he shows him the fastball. Do you think to set up the slider?
Yeah, that's a little cutter. He's got 2 different breaks to that slider. He's going to cut it, and then he's going to take a little speed off of it, and really gives more depth to his slider.
Billy goes right field, but not deep enough or in the gap. Nick Swisher will take care of Butler for out number 1. Time for our AT&T trivia. Who are the only 2 current managers with over 2,000 games managed and a higher career winning percentage than Terry Francona?
Mike Scioscia's got to be one of them.
Yes, I would throw him in there. I was thinking about Bruce Bochy, but I'm not quite sure. Dusty Baker's got a lot of time and success in the bigs. How about Davey Johnson? Well, he's also managed some bad teams. Charlie Manuel?
Nope, not enough.
Yeah, you're probably right. Salvador Perez works the walk with 1 out.
That's good. 3rd time through now.
And Terry's coming out. He wants the lefty because you have Moustakas and Lowe, 2 lefties coming up. So Kluber, Rex, he has not gone 6 innings in his last 3 starts. We will see Cleveland's bullpen as our Chevy call to the bullpen.
Nick Hagedorn.
City with 4 runs on 4 hits. Time to answer our AT&T trivia question. It's about managers who have been winners throughout their career. The only 2 current managers with over 2,000 games managed and a higher winning percentage than Terry Francona.
I got Soch.
Davey Johnson was one. Even though he managed some bad teams, he's managed some very good ones. And so Johnson's there, and Mike Scioscia. Congratulations, Rex Hudler. You are given a firm handshake.
Just with one, though. We didn't officially get.
You're too honest.
We didn't get the other one, though.
We threw Davey Johnson's name out there.
We did, but we didn't make a firm guess.
That's true.
So Al wins that one in the truck.
So Nick Hagedorn comes out. He's a 6'5 lefty from Sandpoint, Idaho. His job, get Moustakas and Lowe out.
An ERA over 5. He can be gotten to.
Moose started the trouble against the starting pitcher Corey Kluber by singling to left field. He was at third base when Gordon hit the grand slam.
Fastball slider, mid-90s. Occasional changeups to righties. I mean, he's right over the top.
Another green light. Nope, it's ball 4.
Take the walk.
Absolutely.
It's good. You get a walk and a knock in a game, you'll get your average up. And that's what Moose is doing on a steady climb coming up.
And not only that, Rex, but also the fact that the walks that Mendoza offered came around to hurt the Royals, and now they want to make sure this team pays for them. They had a walk to Giovatelli. He came around to score when Alex Gordon hit the grand slam home run. Now David Lowe is up with 1 out and 2 on. Vote for the Royals Player of the Month. Get your player tees at rallyhouse.com. Majestic and Rally House do such a great job. And here is David Lowe. He takes strike 1.
Okay, David Lowe, he's hit .308 off of lefties this year. That's a good idea. He uses the opposite field well. He's a guy that can zone him middle away as well as in. We saw him in the 4 hits he got in Minnesota. All 4 of those were pitches on the inner half of the plate.
He rolls that towards third. It will twist and go foul. And they'll try it again at 0-2. And David was just roaring down that line. If it stayed fair, the Royals would have had the bases loaded with just 1 out.
Oh, man, and that would have got our Sonic Slam contestant really excited to load him up again. But this would have been perfect. Just hit that grass, and move off to the side. Now David Lowe, he'll have to catch his breath after running 96+ feet down that line. Try to take a couple deep breaths. Focus on that little rock. He's going to see a slider most likely here.
It's high. We're in the 6th inning, and this is the inning they always play that song, I've Got Friends in Low Places. David Lowe would love to come through for the fans at the K tonight. He swings and misses, though, and strikes out, so he's hoping Johnny Giovatelli can come through here with 2 out.
Francona's not going to let it happen.
Bring on the right-hander.
So Gio's got to be saying, that's right. He's a little nervous about me. I like it. Yeah, bring in another guy.
Be confident.
That's right. It's immediately what you start thinking.
And it will be Cody Allen, the right-hander. Bottom of the 6th inning. Game 1 of a 3-game series with Cleveland and KC. Fans join Fox Sports Kansas City and the Royals for Mizzou Night on July 19th. Get your tickets at Royals.com/Mizzou because the first 2,000 fans with the special Mizzou ticket take home this limited edition Royals cap. For tickets, go to Royals.com/Mizzou. You may see a Mizzou guy in this game. Aaron Crow will be coming in if the Royals perhaps take a lead. Cody Allen comes in, and he is a hard thrower out of Orlando, Florida, and Johnny Giavotella in just his second big league game this year to try and give the Royals their first lead.
And he walked his last time up, so he's still 3 for 3 with runners in scoring position. And he's going to face a guy that's got a mid-90s fastball and a power curve. So perfect for Gio. He's going to get something good to hit here.
Batters hitting just .228 with runners on base against Allen this year. Goes after the first pitch, fouls it off, strike 1, and he knew he'd be aggressive with the heater. He was, and Johnny was ready for it, but topped it.
.209's all they're hitting off of Allen from the right side. 1 homer.
It's been a very good setup man for them this year. Has allowed runs in just 8 of his team high 32 appearances. One and one.
Okay, fastball, power curve. So you just can sit on a fastball in your zone until you get 2 strikes, and then you still look for the fastball, but then you adjust to the curveball if it's hittable or a strike. Especially with the runner at second base, you don't want him to get called looking.
Johnny Giavotella, Royals' second-round pick in 2008 out of the University of New Orleans. He was that conference player of the year. Grabbed by Allen, underhands to the first baseman covering, and we are done through 6 innings. A 4-4 game going to the 7th in KC. to you by Thoroughbred Ford. For the best deals on new Ford cars and trucks, visit thoroughbredford.com. And by 5 Hour Energy Shots. Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. Steve Physiak, Rex Hubbard, Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery with you. Tim Collins coming out of that Kansas City bullpen. This is his 35th game he has worked this year.
All right, Tim Collins. We'll see Terry later when we go visit the Mets. Tim, fastball mid-90s. Hopefully he's on with that pitch, and his second pitch is his big curveball. Now his third pitch is his straight change, and he'll use that not as much as the other two, but it's an effective pitch to righties and lefties. It's a straight changeup.
Tim pitched the 7th inning on Sunday at Minnesota. He recorded only 1 out, charged with 3 runs, including a 2-run homer by Justin Morneau. And he had Morneau down 0-2 with 2 wicked curveballs, then hung a third, and Morneau shot it out.
That's a good changeup right there. Collins has given up a .255 average to righties, no homers.
Cabrera 1 for 3 with 2 RBI single in the 4th. Three and 1. Popped up right side. Will there be room for Eric Hosmer? No. First row.
So by looking at Tim Collins, Fizz, can you tell me what he would be doing if he wasn't a big league baseball pitcher?
He is a sensational athlete. He might be a golfer. He could be a tennis player.
He was all set to go to be a carpenter. Until he dazzled one day. He struck 11 out of 12 batters out in high school, and J.P. Ricciardi was scouting another guy, and they happened to see him, and they go, wow, who's this guy? So if J.P. wouldn't have been there that day, he'd probably be framing houses.
I know, and it's amazing because Tim Collins' numbers in high school were absolutely unbelievable. He was 91-5 in his 4 seasons at Worcester Vocational High School. But because of his size, 5'70", 170. But you and I have seen him play a lot of different sports, just the way he throws and catches a football when he's working out with Moustakas, his leaping ability. Great athlete.
He is a tough guy.
And there is his off-speed pitch, and it misses low. And a good start for Cleveland, not so good for Kansas City. And Collins in the 7th inning with the sizzling Kipnis coming up.
You know, Collins has given up just a 200 average to lefties, but both of his home runs have been given up to lefties, and that's just happened recently. Hayward, the right fielder here in Atlanta, and then you mentioned Morneau, that last road trip.
Kipnis is 1 for 3 in this one. But Collins again falling behind the count. Jason with excellent power. He has a 13-game hit streak going, 21 hits and 43 at bats. I'm sure what Dave Island wants, be aggressive down in the zone. See if you can get 2 outs on 1 pitch.
And, you know, Kipnis doesn't have any trouble against lefties either, hit 323 off him.
Wow. Well, he did keep it low, but too much so, and now it's a 2-0 count. Mendoza gave up 4 in 4 innings. Hochevar was terrific in his 2. And Collins having a rugged time here in the 7th inning, and Dave Island will come out.
You know, in Dave Island, sometimes he'll make an appearance on the field when he has something, he'll run it by Ned. But lots of times it's the manager that'll say, "Hey, go talk to him."
Aaron Crow starting to warm up in that Kansas City bullpen.
So what Dave Island probably told him was, he try that straight changeup down and away from him, and maybe he'll pull it on the ground.
Would you do that? Would you throw that pitch on a 2-0 count, though?
Well, you know, Kipnis, sometimes you got to outsmart the hitter. Looking for a fastball.
And he misses with the fastball. 3-0. Tim has had a rough time lately after a great stretch from May 12th to June 22nd. Didn't allow a run over 20 appearances, but he's allowed 5 runs over his last 4. And now he has walked the first 2 Indians in the 7th inning. And Ned Yost says, "I've got to go to Aaron Crow." In this 7th inning, he comes out of the bullpen with 2 on, nobody out. This will be game number 31 that he's pitched in. He has walked 10 this year, struck out 19, and that is in 24 and a third innings.
All right, he's going to come at him. Hard fastball, sliders. Sliders down. Hopefully everything's down. Swisher, he likes to pull.
Just told Escobar, "Come back here to me. I'm going right to you."
Got to know what's going to happen when that ball's hit to you.
Nick Swisher has singled, doubled, flied out. Cleveland wanted his leadership before the season, signed him to a 4-year deal. Very patient hitter.
Swisher's grounded into 4. Crow would love to make it 5 right here.
Good speed at second base in Cabrera. He has stolen 5 bases this year, and Kipnis has stolen 19.
Royals pitchers have given up in tonight's game.
And that's not like them. They average just 3 per game.
Fortunately, just one of them was scored, though.
Yeah, but those walks have led to runs. Oh, man. 3 balls and 1 strike. They have walked the bases loaded. A walk of Cabrera, a walk to Kipnis, a walk to Swisher. And the team that had the better rotation and the better bullpen is not pitching like it. Outside of Luke Hochevar, who did an excellent job in his 5th and 6th inning work. Ned Yost saying, what do I have to do to get somebody to throw a strike? Here comes Carlos Santana, and he has walked all 3 times tonight. How about a triple play?
I just keep that ball down.
Ball 1.
It looks like Crow's having a hard time keeping that front shoulder in. Staying straight to Salvi, and that's what he's going to remind him of. Hey, just stay right with me. Pulls that shoulder off, that leaves that ball up and away. He's got to drive down.
Oh my. Making it really difficult on themselves here in the 7th inning. Cleveland hasn't even had to swing the bats to load the bases.
Santana, I'm going to take one here. Of course, he might be looking for that one down the middle.
He gets a strike. Royals were down 4-0. Alex Gordon with a dramatic grand slam home run in the 5th tied the game. To center field, Dyson will be there. Cabrera will tag. He will score. And the runner advances from 2nd to 3rd as well, and the Tribe breaks the tie, taking a 5-4 lead.
Okay, there it was. He got away with one. That was belt high and a good hitter's count. Dyson backed up on it. Was able to keep double play in order by keeping Swisher at first base. That's what Crow's hoping for here. Reynolds is grounded into 5.
Reynolds swings and misses at the first pitch as he thought it would be a fastball. Instead, Aaron crossed him up and threw him his slider.
Yep. Looks like that ball backed up on him a little bit too. Didn't have his normal breakaway.
Rex, how does he get it to do that?
Sometimes just over rotate. Ball over rotates and it catches a little air pocket and comes back over the middle. But that one worked.
And there are times where his slider will really sweep away from a right-hander, but the first one bent down and in, and the last one almost looked like a curve. And then another good slider that Reynolds fouls out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes, so that was perfectly located. Kipnis with very good speed at third base. Nick Swisher, average speed at first. Perfect case scenario is that Reynolds hit it on the ground right at an infielder. He swings and misses, so they get the second best scenario, a swing and a miss, second out. And here comes Giambi.
Crow, he got back with that slider. First pitch, getting ahead. And just finished him off with his fastball on the outside part of the plate. He had Reynolds thinking slider.
Giambi goes after the first pitch, strike one. Jason has grounded into a double play, singled and scored a run, and struck out swinging. The Royals will have Dyson, Gordon, and Escobar coming up in the bottom of the seventh. That is rocked to right field, and Lowe will not reach this one. And one more will come in, and maybe two. They're going to hold Swisher at third base as Giambi comes through with a two-base hit, and Cleveland takes a 6-4 lead.
Left that one out over the middle of the plate to a pull hitter. There it was. Right where he likes it. Lowe was playing him to pull, but he couldn't get to that top spin liner. It's a good thing it had top spin on it.
So the Royals have walked 8 tonight. 5 of them have either scored a run or led to runs. Advance the runners for a base hit. We come through. Here is Lonnie Chisenhall with runners in second and third. He waves at a fastball down, and he is down in the count 0-2. Joe Smith is warming down in the Cleveland bullpen. Up the middle, Escobar should take care of him. He does, but 2 runs score as the Royals walk the bases loaded before a sacrifice fly and a double. And let's talk about the All-Star game that's coming up to be played in New York. And here are the American League vote leaders. Mike Trout just took the lead of all outfielders and all players with 4 million, or all outfielders, I should say, over Andrew Jones and Jose Bautista. Chris Davis very deserving, and so is Cabrera. Those are the 2 leading candidates. But how about some votes for Alex Gordon and Salvador Perez, and hopefully pick of Greg Holland or Irvin Santana or James Shields by skipper Jim Leland.
I'm sure he will. Leland will have his pick. Folks can still vote. Alex is about 7th or 8th on the list.
Ryan Rayburn comes in to play right field, and Nick Swisher moves to first base. Dyson the batter, and he takes in there for a strike. It's a 1-1 count as Joe Smith is the new pitcher, the veteran from Cincinnati. Yeah, he's been tough on both lefties and righties this year.
At ERA 1.48, he's good. He's sinker slider.
Lefties only batting .208, right-handers .189. Left side, and it is Michael Brantley with a basket catch. 1 out. Here is our AT&T U-verse rewind.
On a 3-0 pitch, Kluber said, you know what? I think he's taking it. And Alex said, no, I'm not. 3-0, that ball's got to go. Got him back in the game to tie it up.
Gordon takes strike 1 from Joe Smith. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Indians with 6 runs on 7 hits. Royals with 4 on 4. Gordon now has the team RBI lead by 2 over Billy Butler. And he fouls it back.
Smith might go back to that first pitch you threw, Alex, right down low on the outside part of the plate.
Shannon Gutierrez warming in the Kansas City bullpen. He swings and misses and strikes out. Joe Smith came out of Amelia High School in Cincinnati, and he was cut as an over-the-top pitcher at Wright State. Adjusted his delivery completely, became a submarine sidearm guy, and went back to Wright State and became one of their best pitchers the next 3 years.
Yeah, you know, it's a very deceptive angle, and you get good at it. You got action moving both ways. That sinker coming in and slider going away, and the underarm sidearm delivery makes righties really tough to keep that front shoulder in.
He doesn't come as low as Dan Quisenberry used to with the Royals back in the 70s and 80s. Dan would almost scrape his knuckles on the dirt and get ground ball after ground ball, and certainly one of the great closers in the game during that time. He had Escobar reaching for that one. But upstairs, and now the count is full to Alcides Escobar, 3-2, with Eric Hosmer waiting on deck. Popped him up. Kipnis takes care of Escobar, and the Royals are done quickly in the 7th inning. To the 8th we go, 6-4 Tribe.
Detroit won better than Toronto. Chicago gets home runs from Adam Dunn and Connor Gillespie to beat the Orioles. New York blasting Minnesota 7-1 late up at Target Field. Tampa Bay crushing Houston. David Price off of the disabled list. Albert Pujols faces his former team for the first time, and the Angels on top early. Oakland ahead of the Cubs right now, 3-0 out west. Our Mazda game break. We take a look at the home run swing of Miguel Cabrera. That is number 26 on the season for Cabrera as he leads Detroit to victory, a one-run victory that was. He did leave the game early with some back pain, but John Morosi of FoxSports.com reporting he hopes to play tomorrow.
85 ribbies
for Miguel Cabrera.
Wow.
Bruce Chen comes out of the bullpen for Kansas City. He will face Drew Stubbs, Michael Brantley, Asdrubal Cabrera in the 8th inning. Royals bullpen got a terrific performance from Luke Hochevar in the 5th and 6th, but Tim Collins and Aaron Crow struggled in the 7th inning. 3 walks, a sacrifice fly, and a double broke the 4-4 tie.
Bruce is going to try to speed those bats up and slow them down. Getting ahead, working his off-speed pitches, and supply a foul ball to a fan who makes a nice play in the upper deck.
Ooh, barely missed outside. Nothing like that. Big league baseball. Then he throws one at 84 that looks about 94 after seeing a 71-mile-an-hour slow breaking ball away from him. Stubbs with a 2-2 count. He has struck out twice and popped up. It's like they're coming in. And he did get it in, and it's a strikeout for Chen.
Yeah, when you're facing Bruce, you're not sure exactly what to look for. So you just kind of go out there and look up in the zone somewhere, and hopefully he hits it in there. Fastballs, changeups, sliders, curves, and different change of speeds on all of them.
You know, we're just talking about Miguel Cabrera and what a first half is he has had with 85 RBIs already. Hank Greenberg had the most before the All-Star break, 103 in the 1935 season, the year the Tigers won the World Championship. Fouled off.
Fizz, you know that kid Yasiel Puig for the Dodgers?
Oh my gosh, what a player.
He hit another homer. He's got his 8th. Do you put him on the All-Star team?
I don't think so, Hud.
Yeah, that's a big debate.
It's really 1 month.
Yeah.
One great month, one electrifying month.
Well, you know, certainly he's the new talent on the block, and he's very explosive, extremely talented. He's got everything you can ask for in a player.
But do you reward a guy for one great month when someone's going to get left off who's very deserving?
Yeah, that'll be up to Bochy.
Ground ball, base hit. So Brantley is on for the 3rd time. The difference in this game was Kansas City getting wild as Mendoza walked 4. Hochevar walked 1, but he did a terrific job. Actually, that was the only base runner Luke allowed in his 2 innings. And Tim Collins and Aaron Crow walked 3. Asdrubal Cabrera comes up. He has singled in 2, walked and scored. One of the 2 runs that broke that 4-4 tie in the top of the 7th inning. To Moustakas, 5, 4, 3. That'll work just fine.
Roll him over, Bruce. Good job. Nice turn by Gio. Gio's looking good over there at second.
Royals baseball is brought to you by Farmland Foods, introducing the new Boulevard brats from Farmland. Here's to the home team.
Those are delicious. Everything with Boulevard on it is outstanding.
We will see a new pitcher, Vinny Pistano, to face Eric Hosmer. Haas is 0 for 3, a couple of groundouts to second, a pop-up to left. He takes strike one, and Pistano, coming off a very good month of June, a 2.08 ERA in 13 games. He was the closer when Chris Perez was injured on the disabled list. Let's take a look at our Toyota League leaders. After this pitch, and Hosmer drills it into right field. Well, that's a start. Now let's look at those Toyota League leaders. Cabrera with 5 home runs in his last 10 games, but how about Eric Hosmer right there with 4? And Hosmer, quite frankly, he has 6 home runs since June 13.
The reason we didn't show that was because we were thinking that swing he was going to hit another one. So we'd have had to update it real quick.
You're exactly right.
Yeah,
how about this guy doing it?
He's due.
Yes, he is. And Billy fouls the first pitch off, strike one. Billy 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts and a flyout to right. He's a 7-game hit streak at the line. He had 11 hits in that, where he took his average up to 283, but 0 for 3 has dropped it under 280 again. Another called strike.
Yeah, he's got that slider working. 3/4 delivery on the side. He's tough.
And that was the pitch that Kluber caused problems with Billy early.
He left that one in.
Big hole between first and second. That's a fair ball. Hosmer is going to be sent home, and he will score.
That ball went right over the base. I mean, perfect timing for Billy. Going to end the night with another hit.
Elliott Johnson comes on the pinch run for him here in the 8th.
That's just been his first hit. That last one he hit was a hard shot to right field. He caught it, but this one here, he was able to hook it. Pistano left himself out over. And Hosmer's on his horse.
For a moment, I thought Eddie Rodriguez was going to hold it, but Eddie had his eye on that ball banging around the corner, and all of a sudden sent Haas home. And it's a 1-run game, and the tying run, good speed at second base for Salvador Perez.
Man, that slider's rolling up there. It's not very sharp. So to me, it looks hittable.
Greg Holland has started to throw for Kansas City in the pen. A bouncer to third will get Johnson to third. Bouncer to first, I beg your pardon, gets Johnson to third.
That is a productive out. Nice job. He looked for something middle away so he could move him over there to get that tie and running situation for Moustakas. So they're going back offensively, doing the little things. And Billy's was a little bit bigger than the little thing. That nice double was sweet. And knocked in his 45th run.
Here is Moustakas, who hit his first home run in 124 at-bats on Friday. He has 5 this year. He takes low and in. Great save by Santana, or Johnson would have scored.
Okay, Moose is due to be a hero. He hasn't been a hero all year long. Let's see if he can get a hold of one.
Infield in for Cleveland. 2 balls, no strikes.
Okay, look for your pitch. Slider down and in, first pitch, second pitch, fastball in.
Again, a ball in the dirt. It's 3-0 as Pistano is laboring here in the 8th inning.
I kind of think that he's not wanting to give Moose anything to hit on purpose here. He's kind of just see if he'll fish out of the zone.
Think they want to set up a double play with Lowe?
I'm thinking they're trying to. A little leery, but we'll see if he throws him a strike here. No.
Did not.
I didn't think they wanted it.
So now they have put the go-ahead run on. And David Lowe, who was so hot on Sunday, 4 for 4. 4 extra base hits. His home run gave Kansas City the lead. He was the 5th Royal in franchise history to get 4 extra base hits in one game. The other names, McRae, Brett, Smith, and Damon.
Okay, look for something up he can drive. Foul. Ooh, man, Kerwin Danley, he had a hard enough time getting out of the way of that ball, let alone it was just off of the bag. And he's saying, man, oh man, that was tough. Watch this. He didn't have hardly any time. He made the right call eventually when he came down. He's saying, no thanks, I'm done. Too bad David Lowe couldn't have hit that base on that. Right over it. Right idea. Hit it hard. Pistano, he likes to start that breaking ball out over the middle of the plate, and then it breaks in off the plate. You get a lot of swings from left-handers. So far, Moose and Lowe didn't budge on any of those.
Now he finds himself down in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. George Brett, Pedro Grifol trying to get him to be disciplined where he does not chase pitches out of the zone. Get your pitch.
Okay, just in case Moose decides to steal, that's what Santana was doing. He's standing in front of the plate saying, all right, if he does go, I'm going to let you know if I'm going to throw through or hold my throw. But if he hits it to Swisher can, depending on how hard the ball's hit, he can try to turn a double play or just come right home and try to get Elliott Johnson, who's pinch running for Billy Butler at third base.
Cleveland also saw, Minnesota saw what Lowe can do with the inside pitch.
So they're putting it in even lower and down.
A smash to second. They've got 1 and they've got 2. Rats.
Ooh, man. He hit that ball on the nose and almost beat it out. Oh, too bad.
Start this ninth inning with Jason Kipnis, Nick Swisher, Carlos Santana coming up. Hitters 3, 4, and 5. The Royals certainly have gift wrapped some runs by being wild, both from their starting and some of their bullpen. They had a great opportunity to tie the game after Hosmer singled, Butler doubled. Ground out got Elliott Johnson to third base. Stockus walked, but Lowe hit into a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. Jason Kipnis is down in the count 1-2. And Kipnis tonight has been on twice with a single, a walk, a run scored. Twice he scored. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Royals changing their team a little bit defensively with Johnny Giavotella now at second base. And it's fouled off. In the first 2 games, he's looked pretty solid at second base, and he knows he must, along with his offense. And it's always been good, better than 300 average in the minor leagues. He'll be leading off the bottom of the ninth. Kipnis fouls it off.
Well, you know, there was a couple of questions about Gio's defense, his backhand play and turning the double play. That was what they were really going to hope that he could excel at. And so far, this is little small 2 games, he's made some brilliant plays out there, and he's looked very good turning 2.
Chen strikes out Kipnis. And Rex, why don't we take a look at some of Johnny Giavottella's defense we've seen the last 2?
I think we ought to give him a little love for the defense he's been playing. You know, this has been a game and a half here, almost 2 games. But early on in the game here, that was a tester. Okay, but what we're liking to see is the way he's turning 2. He's going after it. He's using the base as protection. He went out a little bit to get that ball from third baseman Moose. But this backhand play right here was exceptional. That was beautiful. So if there's any questions about his backhand work or his turning 2 so far early, there's not any. He's looking good.
He will lead off the offense for the Royals in the bottom half of this inning. Giavotella, Dyson, Gordon.
Turning 2. It's a lot of fun when you're a second baseman and you're not seeing that runner coming. Now watch him here. You can stay on the base, that's one way, or you can come to the base, but he's using the base as protection there, staying over the top, gets up off of that foot, out of the way of the runner. Big league double play turn.
Swisher fouls it off. Nick tonight singled, doubled, flied out, walk. That is the 18th base runner for Cleveland. Way too many. And 8 of them have come on walks. Swisher gets a base hit, his 3rd of the game. Tell you, that guy always has fun.
Yeah, he
talk about fun at the ballpark.
Yeah, he loves playing baseball. I mean, he really has a lot of fun out here, and you know that's really allowing you to do your thing. Now Chris Perez is getting loose. That's who they'll see coming in.
Carlos Santana batting from the right side. Down the line, Moustakas has a chance for one more. A 5-4 and a 3 double play. Little high throw by Giavotella, but Eric Hosmer's 6'4", and he stretches out. We'll see Gio lead off when we come back. The ninth inning, and as we expected, Chris Perez comes out of the bullpen. The Royal fans have their rally caps on, and Perez this year has done a good job. Not the same kind of outstanding performance we saw in years past. He has a 3.86 ERA and 7 saves, but he spent some time on the disabled list.
Yep, he had a little shoulder discomfort, but you see someone else has been getting him. He's got a 3.86 ERA. So what he does is he's got a fastball and a slider, basically, but he challenges hitters. He's got a closer mentality, no question about it. He comes right at you. He's going to give you something good to hit. And his fastball is 90 to 93, maybe a little bit 94, but he had some shoulder issues when he went out. And Mickey Callaway, his pitching coach, said that we'd like to see him use a little bit more of his lower body, of his legs. He's been using a lot of his arms. He's kind of a slinger.
He has 2 blown saves this year. One was at Toronto, the other at home against Seattle. And there is strike 1. Giovatello 0 for 2 with a walk, a run scored on Gordon's grand slam in the 5th. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Perez does not have the command, or hasn't shown the command that he usually displays. He's walked 10 in only 18 2/3 innings.
And time will tell to see if he can, hold up without any more shoulder issues.
Johnny sends one deep to center field, but not deep enough. Stubbs is back, pulls it down, 1 out. Please stay with us because Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery will be with us for our Boulevard post-game show. Hopefully they'll be interviewing the winning Royal who had the walk-off. 2 outs to go. Royals trail by 1, 6-5.
Okay, this is a big, important at-bat for Dyson. Any way you can to get on base.
Ball 1.
Anyway, find a way. Be creative. If you want to bunt, go ahead. Swisher's in. So is Chisenhall, the third baseman.
Ball 2.
Doesn't matter if you're in. Dyson's good. He doesn't have to be perfect. Now, his first at bat, he tried a bunt, but he bunted it right back to the pitcher. So that wasn't exactly the kind of placement he was wanting on that. But he'll take. Well, that looked like that was away. Cuts corner.
It's a 3-1 count to Dyson.
Same opportunity here. Zone in. Right in your zone.
Are you thinking middle in then?
Right in the middle. Just look middle. He's going to give him one. Ooh, boy, that's a borderliner there. Wasn't what he wanted. A really nice location there. Didn't have to give it to him.
Ball 4. The Royals have a chance. Their fastest man is aboard.
He is quick too. So this is almost an automatic. However, we did see Joe Mauer throw out Dyson in that series in Minnesota. And really, Dyson's been thrown out only 2 times all year, and it was both times by Mauer. Santana, with his 13% of throwing runners out, not going to get a lot of help from Perez either, who's not exactly quick home.
But Gordon has to expect fastball with Dyson's speed at first base. And Perez chases him back.
Yeah, Francona has options, and he might try a pitch out. You never know. Dyson likes to go early in the count. Earlier in the count you go, better chances Gordon has to get something to hit, drive you in.
Alex with a base hit to right field. Dyson turns second. Holds. The throw would have gotten him.
Yeah, now he kind of held up a little there. He had to. Wasn't sure if that ball was low enough for Kipnis to catch it. So nice job by Alex in a nice little topspin lob out there. Got some action going. Ball's on the outer half. He hooked it. Okay, watch Dyson. Just he kind of made sure that the ball wasn't caught. There's no need to get doubled up this time of the game. Especially right there on that throw.
Escobar is due. Last chance to extend his hit streak to 9 straight games. He is 0 for 4, but he came into this game hitting .328 with runners in scoring position.
Okay, he could somehow find an alley. That would be a beautiful thing for Gordon. Now, Swisher, the first baseman, is back off of Gordon, so Gordon can get a little extra lead at first base.
Strike one. Strike two, and Escobar did not like the call, but it was there.
Yeah, but he wanted that too. I think he wanted to hit that pitch. He's a little bit disappointed he didn't swing at that. Perez's slider doesn't look extremely sharp, and his fastball's not overpowering. Okay, it's important. Now you see where Swisher is over there at first base. He's off the base a little bit. Now Gordon can, any little extra foot he can get could help him score that winning run.
Escobar strikes out on 3 pitches. So the Royals down to their final out, and it will be Eric Hosmer, who had a terrific month of June. 6 home runs, 17 RBIs in June. He hit a big home run in the 8th inning that proved to be the difference on Sunday in the Royals' 9-8 victory.
Okay, Eric with 14 doubles on the year, that would do it if he could just find a gap. Look for something up. Perez worked Escobar with a lot of sliders that last time.
And he has had some big hits in the last month. Tied the June 17th game in Cleveland with an RBI double in the 8th. With Kansas City winning that one 2-1. Delivered the walk-off June 12th to beat Detroit in 10. Takes strike one here. And you might remember his bases loaded double in the 9th plated the go-ahead runs in St. Louis on May 30th, giving the Royals a 4-2 win. One ball, one strike.
Perez got away with one that first pitch to Hosmer. He left it right down the middle. I always like to see that one again.
Two balls and a strike. Elliott Johnson's waiting on deck.
Looked like he tried to alter his arm angle, Perez, on that last pitch. Trying to drop down sidearm.
Royals do have a bench of Gutierrez, Kane, Tejada still available. Ooh, he had a good rip at an off-speed pitch. Dyson at second, Gordon at first. He rolls it to short. That will do it. Game over. Cleveland wins game 1 of this 3-game series by a final of 6-5.
They had their chances. Alex Gordon's grand slam gave him hope. Man, that was a beautiful swing back there.
It tied the game at 4. The Royals were trailing 4-0. This is our 4th play of the game. Second grand slam for Gordon this year. The first came in a win. This one, unfortunately, comes in a loss. KC will try and even the series tomorrow night against Scott Kazmir as Jeremy Guthrie will throw for KC. We'll come back and talk more about it right after this.